Leon Olguin here, and welcome to At Home with Music. What I'd like to do in this video is build on what we did in our video where we learned how to find 36 basic chords starting from one basic chord. So you remember we started with C major, and then we found all the major chords, all the minor chords, and all the 7th chords. And what I'd like to do in this video is show you some different kinds of 7th chords that you can also use in your music. We're going to start with this 7th chord that we learned how to find. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, you might want to go back and review it. It's called How to Find 36 Basic Chords Starting from One Basic Chord, or something like that. Anyway, so you already know one 7th chord. And so what we're going to do is, starting with this particular 7th chord, we're going to keep altering it in different ways to create new kinds of 7th chords. Now this 7th chord that we've already learned is called a dominant 7th. The reason we call it dominant is because it dominates the next chord that comes after it. It wants to resolve. So in this case, this C7 chord wants to resolve to F major. Going back to this C7 chord, we're going to turn it into different kinds of 7th chords. Now you'll notice that this chord, we started with this original triad underneath, this 3-note chord, C major. That was our first basic chord that we looked at. And then we added this note to make it a C7. Now we're going to start altering different notes within this C7 chord to create some different types of 7th chords. They're all 7th chords. They're just altered notes in there to make them different. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the C major triad and turn it into C minor. So you remember how we did that. We took the middle note, lowered it down to E flat. We left the 7th in there. And so now we have what is known as a minor 7th chord. Has kind of a nice rich sound to it. That's the minor 7th chord. So now you have dominant 7th, you have minor 7th. Now, we're going to go back to the major 7th, or excuse me, the dominant 7th chord, and we're going to lower both of these notes. And this is called the half diminished 7th chord. If you remember from the music basics, that's a diminished chord. And we're going to leave that 7th in there. And so now we have a half diminished 7th chord. This one has sort of a dreamy sound to it. So now you have dominant 7th, minor 7th, half diminished 7th. Let's go back to our dominant 7th, and we're going to raise this B flat to a B. We call this a major 7th chord. And the reason we call it a major 7th is because the interval between the C and the B is a major 7th. You can hear how this chord has a richer sound than just this chord. And that's because of the tension between the C and the B. Now, you've got dominant 7th, minor 7th, half diminished 7th, and now you have a major 7th. All right, let's do one more. This one, we're going to leave this major 7th note on top, and we're going to lower. Remember, the bottom part of this chord is a triad. lower it half a step. And now we have what's known as a minor major 7th chord. Has kind of a dramatic sound to it, doesn't it? So here's what you got so far. Dominant 7th, minor 7th, half diminished 7th, major 7th, and the minor major 7th chord. Now there's more 7th chords, but I think we're going to save those for the next video. Your challenge, you notice I've been building all of these chords starting on C. Obviously there's a lot more notes that you can start on, 11 more to be exact. So let's say, for example, starting on D. There is the D7, which is a dominant 7th. And then you can make it into a D minor 7th. Then you can make it into a D half diminished 7th chord. And then you can make it into a D major 7th chord. And then a D minor major 7th chord. The challenge now is to be able to form those 5 7th chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Form those 5 chords on every note. It's going to take some thought, it's going to take some doing, but once again, you'll get very familiar with the way these chords sound. And these are the most common 7th chords that you're going to find in popular music. Now there are others, and we'll get to those. And some of them sound even stranger than the ones that we've just gone over. These 5, however, dominant 7th, minor 7th, half diminished 7th, major 7th, minor major 7th, those are the ones you're going to find most often in popular songs. So have some fun with these 7th chords, making interesting sounds on your piano, and let me know how you make out. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I encourage you to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm so thankful for those of you who have recently subscribed to At Home with Music. That helps the channel a lot. That helps more people to find out about what we're doing here with At Home with Music. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you in the next one.